So you guys been wanting me to change the theme song sound quality, but I'm gonna keep the same song. So here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Just how she plays them, and she does that. She does it with the cat. Does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. Hopefully that fixed the audio. Crazy Cat does not own any of these pictures or books or pictures. I use them under fair use for educational purposes, so the people who watch them learn a little bit something when they do it. Hopefully that fixed the audio. I only did all those years ago. No, I don't want to do this. I'm scared of this thing. Please move it. So, hi everyone, Martha here. Got done watching How to Train Your Dragon, the original. This one came out when
Where's my channel changer, Martha?
Should be in there. It came out 2 years after I graduated from high school, so I was already an adult when it happened. This movie came out. But you know me, I like to give most animated movies a chance. And I probably was watching this, the first time I watched this was with my little brother. But one time I was looking after him. And what do I think about this movie? Well, it's not the first time we had a movie like this, where a boy hides something from his father, like E.T. E.T. is probably one of the first movies out there that did this trope. Now, and also the trope where the dad, trope that and the dad and the son don't get along at first, and by the end of the movie they trust each other. Yeah, basically both those parts have been covered, but this, I guess, hasn't been covered in this type of way, where it's a dragon and they're Vikings. So, yes, a lot of people don't like the fact that these guys don't really sound like they're Scandinavian, but they try to put that aside. It doesn't really affect the story. I think all the actors do a great job at doing their roles, and this is technically maybe the same as people that made Lilo and Stitch. If you wonder why does Toothless and Stitch look very similar, it's because they're made by the same people. Yes, two different companies, but they left to go. Chris Sanders and Dan D. Lowe went to join DreamWorks for a little bit, and yep. What do I think about this movie? It's pretty good. So I don't know if you haven't seen it or not. I really hope you go in.
One of those brown napkins in there. A couple of them, Martha. It's on the table, there, the white table, in the kitchen. Martha.
Okay.
Somebody, please.
Basically, about a boy and his dragon that a cat. I know I've heard them saying, see, I think Toothless acts like a dog, but I see a lot of the qualities from cat, not a dog, because it likes rolling in grass. It's hard to gain its trust. Dogs gain your trust right away. It takes him how many days for Jesus to actually pet him? For a Hiccup to actually pet him. Well, a dog you can pet a dog right away, but you can't pet a cat right away. Usually cats are shy. So I did. That's the fact how it takes long for him to gain his trust. But the fact that you notice that Toothless did say them spared him. But mostly this starts off with Toothless, with Hiccup trying to prove himself, but doing a terrible job doing it, because nobody believes that he actually took down the Night Fury. They just pulled off the joke, and he goes off to go and find it himself, but instead he just ends up releasing it, and gets it trapped inside of a hole because it has no way of flying out of there. Out of the hole, since it doesn't have a tail fin, because we guess that it lost its tail fin, and when Toothless wrapped it up, we had no way of proving, but that's what I always figured, that when the tail fin, when he got caught in Toothless' trap, that he lost his tail fin. And it's he's a premise forced to doing dragon training, even though he doesn't realize after he couldn't kill Toothless. He knows he probably couldn't kill any of them. So he tries. At first, he wants to be able to kill them, and then once he actually tries to kill one, it doesn't pan out right. But his dad's going off with rest of the crew to rest of the Vikings to go and discover Garber, to go look for the nest before it comes winter time. And and after that, he ends up, while he's doing the underwater training, he learns all the tricks that he learned from Toothless and tries it on the other dragons. They're in there and realize, okay, they're all alike, even though that they're all different breeds of dragons. And that he uses what to his advantage without hurting them. So yeah, like, realize that Toothless isn't like eels, tries it on the two-headed dragon, realize that he likes to be scratched underneath his belly, that they like some type of grass. I'm guessing, I don't know if this is supposed to be like only like a specific smell for them. They like to be scratched underneath the belly, and that if they go chasing after light, just like a cat does. So yeah. But he also when he has to build a new tail fin for Toothless, and that eventually where it brings him fish, and that's when he finally, after he like feeds them and not step on Toothless's drawings, because Hiccup drew as a drawing of him, and got him intrigued for him to do a drawing. And eventually the lines lead Toothless to it. And but I do, and then eventually after Toothless does all that stuff, Astrid, the girl that he likes, gets jealous enough and follows him back to where he kept Toothless and finds out what he's been doing. And eventually, in order to get her to trust Toothless, she shows him what it's like to ride him. And yes, at first, she doesn't know what to think of him, because he's not exactly as great at doing all the stuff that he is, and the fact that he's been like getting all the credit, and the fact that he's now going to be the one who's going to have to kill a dragon in the final exam, and not her. But after the ride, I think is that when she usually actually starts to trust him. And even though they both find the nest together, the three of them, as Toothless shows them, gets led to it by a lot of other dragons that fly by that have prey for the big red death, or whatever it's called, and their queen, So while that's happening, Stoic, Toothless, Hiccup's dad comes home from not being able to do it. Now he's all impressed by what his son's been doing. But it takes for him to become a dragon, good at night killing dragons, for him to get his dad appreciation. But that's all you can do. So, but it should have not taken this long to have that happen. And the next day, Hiccup has to try to kill the red one, and he doesn't try to kill him. He tries to do what he did to Toothless. Stoic doesn't like what it is, and makes White when you still have to touch the red one, because he says we don't have to kill them. But after all that happened, Toothless comes and saves him, but ends up getting captured by the village. And Hiccup says, "Let Toothless go," and but can't believe you're signing with him, the dragon. Stoic pretty much says, but he's like, we got led to the island by accident. And this is when he says, "You're not my son." And I do like this little bit of animation that happens right afterwards. After he kind of says, "I'm going to use your dragon to guide them to the nest." And that's how that happened. He almost falls down and loses his balance because this premise disowned his kid, and end up leaving and taking Toothless with him. And Astrid asked him, "What are we gonna do now? Basically, and why didn't you not kill the dragon?" Because he saw a little bit of himself in the dragon. And he says, "Well, you already did something stupid. What are you gonna do now?" Then something crazy. And they decide to take all the dragons that they had left there that we're using to train on to go and help them. And earlier, before all this happened, Toothless did breathe fire into a little bitty dragon, the terrifying terror. And Hiccup does realize that they're not fireproof on the inside because what happened to the little one, and decides to use it against this big red dragon, see if it works. And because what Stoic and Gobber does with it does not work, it does not bring them down. And when they get there, he has to go and get Toothless, untie it up, but the boats were allowing fire, and it takes Stoic to go and help them, let them out. And he says, "I'm proud to call you son, and how you might call you my son, and I'm sorry for what I said." And so Toothless basically does the same exact thing that he saw. Toothless and Hiccup does basically the same thing that they did to the little dragon, and it works, but it takes a couple of more fire hits because it's definitely bigger. But during the fight, after they won and killed it, Hiccup loses his one of his legs, and so now him and Toothless are even. And he wakes up thinking that he would be in trouble, but he's allowed to keep his dragons, and all the other dragons are on the island. And he ends out that we are a dragon, that we're the same premise, the same exact way that he ends the first beginning of the movie where he's narrating. But I think about this movie, probably it's really good. I can't think of anything really wrong with it. I mean, yes, it recycles ideas of cliches that has been used before, but I think they use those cliches pretty well. They only use the whole entire joke where he tries to hide the dragon from people once when people should be able to pretty much to be able to see it once, unlike all those other movies where they use it for the whole entire movie. And yes, there's a little bit lie revealed in here, but it takes pretty, it goes by pretty fast. But so I'm probably gonna still give this one like a 10 out of 10. And yep, just watch this movie, okay? You don't have to see that live action remake. I know it has the same director, but heard so far that it's pretty much the same movie. Well, yes, there's a little bit of changes, but what I heard so far, because I haven't seen it yet, because ever since Lion King's remake, I haven't seen any of these movies in theaters, and I want to keep it that way, even if it's from a different company. And I don't understand, like, it's gonna be different, it's made by a different company, like, remakes are remakes, no matter who makes them, okay? So, yep, there you guys go. I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe, and bye-bye.